Good morning, everyone. My name is Akia Hicks, and in this group we have Donna, Marie, and Erica. We will be presenting climate change, and the question to answer is it too hot or too cold, and why does it matter? Climate change is a change in climate patterns and is caused from the exposure and overuse of fossil fuels. We create climate change with our cars, clothes, purchase choices, and pretty much everything you could think of. Climate change involves the harming of air, water, soil, and the environment as a whole. The bathtub model can be applied to the definition as the model displays the inflow, outflow, and overflow of fossil fuels. Climate change occurs due to the overuse of fossil fuels released. Some impacts that the climate change is causing are alterations in temperatures, the water cycle, and the weather. People experience illness and death due to climate change, especially in less developed or impoverished areas. Some examples are cardiorespiratory disease, asthma, premature deaths, malnourishment, and hotter temperatures increase disease in insects, increasing the chances of spreading infectious disease. When it is too hot, water evaporates, and some countries experience terrible floods and water droughts. Because of this type of weather, soil gets either too dry or over moisture. This then leads to malnourishment, and the soil is damaged and unable to produce crops. People also experience loss of income because some countries depend on their farms as the main source of income.
So, how can we do our part to reduce it? As mentioned in the slide, a lot of the energy used by societies today still comes from fossil fuels, and getting to the point where there's a good balance between being able to provide electricity for everyone while also reducing emissions may take a while. Even though there are alternatives to create power, such as using solar panels, hydroelectric power, or wind turbines, not everyone can afford them, and not everyone wants to make that change just yet. The donut model is a visual representation of sustainable development. It is combined with both environmental and social boundaries that should be respected in order for humanity to thrive. It relates to climate change because if we don't start to set limits on how much of our resources we consume daily, then we are only going to damage our health and our planet sooner than later. Also, if we don't consider making wise choices now, then we as well as the future generations to come may not have the necessary resources we need later on. Even though climate change has already had several major impacts on our community, as well as in other communities around the world, there are still several ways we can help to save our environment for a better future. Some of these ways include only purchasing and consuming the amount of water and produce that we need, so that way we don't waste it. We can also switch to using bikes, scooters, or walk whenever possible to help reduce the amount of emissions that get released into the air. And for those that have a home, the time and the money can consider using cleaner energy sources to power their homes.
So why is it important, or why is environmental justice an important issue? So environmental justice, by definition, is basically human activity done in a way that supports sustainable development. Um, Climate change is an environmental issue because climate change has a direct impact on people's lives. Some groups are disproportionately impacted by the detrimental effects of climate change, especially marginalized groups and minorities, which is seen across the globe. Rising temperatures could lead to cities along the coastlines being wiped out, as well as affect agriculture, which is currently happening today. The natural environment affects populations and societies. When climate change occurs in ways that the physical environment is affected, societies that depend on those environments are also severely affected. As seen on the map, people in the redder areas of the world are at a higher risk of being impacted by climate change. Weather, rising sea levels, and changes in agricultural productivity are all ways that will affect communities at risk and their livelihoods.
So, what is the DC government doing to deal with these issues? Um, the District of Columbia has stated that they are committed to reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 50% below the 2006 levels by the year 2032 and 80% by 2050. They have done this through multiple legislations and like multiple statements. Meeting these goals will require improving the energy efficiency of district homes and buildings, switching to clean renewable energy, and expanding sustainable transportation options. Meeting those goals will require improving the energy efficiency of the district homes and buildings, like I said. In addition to enacting policies and programs to cut emissions citywide, the district government is also committed to reducing the carbon footprint of our own operations by cutting energy use, switching to more efficient fleet vehicles, and investing in renewable energy like solar panels. And then what does Biden plan on doing on a more federal level? His team has stated that Biden believes in the Green New Deal as a crucial framework for meeting the climate challenges that we face. It powerfully captures two basic truths, which are the core of his plan, according to his team once again. The first part of that is that the United States urgently needs to embrace greater ambition on an epic scale to meet the scope of this challenge of climate change. And the second is that our environment and our economy are completely and totally connected. So they plan on taking monetary and fiscal policy and applying it to environmental policy. Biden is also committed that Biden for president, while it was running, would not accept contributions from oil, gas, or coal corporations or executives, and it didn't. So that's something that the Biden team already did, that they said they would do. Another thing, though, that we should keep on the lookout for is the fact that the administration has not stated whether or not they are planning on attending the United Nations Conference of the Parties, the COP 2021, which is going to be held in Glasgow. This is the climate change conference related to the Kyoto Protocol and the Paris Climate Agreement. So that's something that we don't know yet, but we should keep an eye out for.
So what can we do here at Trinity? We can make an impact right here in our community. Making a change doesn't stop at home. Our personal habits extend to our daily lives. There are ways that we can get involved in our own campus. So Trinity offers many ways for students to get involved. We are able to create clubs, spaces, and events here. And using these resources will make it easy to begin making a change in our immediate areas. Spread awareness. So Sustainable DC suggests making infographics. It's a great way to spread awareness and start the conversation on climate change and sustainability. As long as your posters are approved by faculty, you can post your infographics around campus. Documentaries and informational movies are popular today, and if it is interesting to you, it may be interesting to others as well. You could try setting up a movie showing to watch your favorite environmental documentary. And the sustainability stool. So the sustainability stool is a model that helps us understand the idea of sustainability. If one leg is missing, the stool will not be able to function and it falls over. There are 3 different legs, and they are environmental, social, and economic, which are the 3 different factors that kind of lead into sustainability. Our work at Trinity will fall under the social aspect, which contribute to keep the environment leg up. The 3 legs have to be in some sort of relationship to maintain the stool standing. What else can we do? Waste reduction. You can reduce food waste by only taking what you will eat from the dining hall. A tip is you can bring your own reusable bag to package your to-go meal instead of using the single-use plastic bag provided by the dining hall. You can help reduce food waste on campus by changing your habits. Sorry, I just got like a weird Zoom message. I'll have to cut that off. Carpooling. So if you drive to campus for classes, you can ask around to see if any of your classmates would like to carpool with you. This saves gas and could also save time for your classmates for commuting. You can also get your hands dirty. If you like to garden, Trinity encourages students to start their own clubs and groups. You can try starting a compost garden in the area. If you happen to have extra food waste and it's compostable, you can use it in the community garden. To do something like this, you would need other students who would want to contribute, as well as a faculty member to oversee the project.
All right, thank you guys for your time and attention. That's a wrap. Any questions?